Hi everyone in English 1301. This is Dr. E and I'm here with your weekly instructional video. I want to welcome you all to a new semester, to a new course. I hope you're feeling energized and ready to go, even if you may not be the most excited about a course like composition. We'll get through it. We'll get through it together. I promise there will be some fun and interesting things that we do in here. So definitely try to find that energy to keep pushing through this semester. In these weekly videos, I really just kind of visit where to go and what to do for any particular week, right? So if you haven't already, make sure that you're watching this D2L walkthrough video where I go through all the different areas and elements of D2L that are going to be important in our course. That will definitely just give you a sense of the course in general, and then this weekly video just kind of focuses in on our first week together. All right, so I'm going up to the content area where we'll spend a majority of our time. And remember, when you click here, you have all kinds of resources available here. Now, don't let that overwhelm you. I feel like, especially when you know that if you click on a module, you'll have other links that you can click, it just starts to feel very overwhelming, like there's so much information. Take some time to click through just to know that, if I need to look at the schedule in 2 weeks, I can click here to find the schedule. Or, oh, I need to know how to quote something. You have MLA, you have student success, which also includes our wonderful tutor who is here to help us. Here's a note from him and some writing strategies, right? So just take some time to click around, but don't let it overwhelm you. I feel like if you're not feeling overwhelmed the first week of online courses, then something's wrong, because it's a lot of information, right? It's all the information you would get if we were face-to-face, but it's in a digital environment. So it can feel like information overload, but just hang in there. Things will start to not only make sense, but you'll start to get more comfortable. Did I already mention I had a virus? Oh, my head is so foggy. Anyhow, I am getting over a virus. So if I am not super clear in something that I say, or if any document or assignment that is due this week is not clear, please let me know. I have tried to look over those again and again, but my mind for my own revisions and edits is not quite clear, so help me out with that. Be my peer reviewers. All right, I'm going to go to week 1. All our weekly modules will appear here, and you'll always have 3 sections: the to watch, to review, and to do areas. So this is taken directly from your schedule, right, which you can find here, but I've also included it in this week's module. So this will start to look very familiar. On Mondays, everything is available for that following week. So the introduction video, which is for D2L, this weekly video. Okay, I put a note here to review the syllabus. The prompt is posted for the weekly discussion. The course survey is not due this week, but it's available if you wanted to get a head start, since I don't offer work in advance necessarily. Like with the schedule, you can see what you can read, but the assignments aren't available yet, but this is open. You do have a mind map assignment for Sunday, as well as the weekly quiz. This actually looks like a pretty regular week for us. Thursdays and Sundays are our due dates, so if you need to put reminders in your calendar, or if those don't work for you, then make sure that every week you have things done by like Tuesday and Thursday instead of Thursday and Sunday. Do whatever it is you need to do to be successful, right? So you have that discussion post that's due on Thursday, and then it says here to respond to 2 colleagues for the discussion. And it needs to be more than just a, hey, how's it going? Or, oh yeah, I totally agree. You want to show that you've engaged and interacted with each other, not only because you're getting points for it, but because this is where we have a discussion. Since we don't see each other face to face, we don't have the benefit of that kind of chat. So make sure that you are, really digging in and showing that you've read that person's response and are engaging with them. I want you to note that there are plus signs here next to this grade, because it is optional, it is bonus credit. I try to build a few points here and there into the syllabus or for our schedule, just because, I know stuff occurs and maybe you miss a small grade here or there, so having a little cushion is never a bad thing. So you don't have to complete this at all. It's not required. I'm pushing that word. It is not required It's optional, but if you do respond, in order to get the full points, you need to respond to 2 colleagues and really push for 3 sentences. You also have a mind map assignment and participation quiz. You'll see that the points are kind of low, and that's how we're going to start. It doesn't seem fair to have, a 100-point week when we're just getting used to the materials and the course and the setup, right? So each week those grades will increase a bit as you get used to not only my expectations, but the course in general, right? So we start slow and then we hit the ground running with more points later on. I do have, what you'll want to work on next week, so you can read ahead if you want to. Make sure you're getting a hold of your book. You can find book materials here in the syllabus, in the Start Here section. I mean, there's lots of places where you can find where and how to access our course text. But this is an additional reading. So it's posted in the additional reading area, but I think I've included a post as well. Or I will include a post in next week, right? This is not for this week. This reading is for next week. I want to make a quick note about this percentage here. Please ignore it. This is one of those, it is confusing to people, and I completely understand why. This essentially is just the percentage of the areas that you visited. This doesn't mean that you've completed 12.5% of the work for that week. This is just an indication of where you've clicked around. So don't let that fool you, just ignore it. There will always be a link to the Q&A discussion board, so if you have any questions, of course you can reach out to me, but I guarantee if you have that question, other people do as well. So post in that Q&A area. You can post anonymously, and if you know the answer, go ahead and jump in and offer an answer. I will go in and double check everything, don't worry. So to watch this week, you should have already watched that D2L introduction video, and what you're watching right now will appear as number 2, excuse me. To review, this week is the syllabus. Usually I have a video for the syllabus, but it's just kind of boring. I sit and read it. I may still offer a video perhaps for next week where I walk through at least the most important points, or what I get a sense are the most important to you. And then we have the first 5 weeks scheduled out, and that is intentional. It's because I really need to see how our pace is, how as a class we move through the information. Do we need to slow down? Do we need to perhaps speed up? That kind of thing. So we're in kind of our trial period to see about that. And notice the check marks over here mean nothing, right? It's a check mark because I, in some way, shape, or form, have clicked on this link and then come back. And I, at some point, updated this. So please don't let that be an indication. It's not an indication of completed work. All right, so for the discussion, it's due on Thursday. If you click on that, I've given pretty, I think, direct details on how to post. I've also put a note here, download Grammarly, use Grammarly. If we have tools to help us do our best and submit our best work, we should use them, unless, of course, it's something like AI that is completing our entire assignment. That is where we get into really big trouble with academic dishonesty and that kind of thing. But for grammar checking, for spell checking, use Microsoft Word, use Grammarly to help, right? So you're going to introduce yourselves to one another by answering these 6 questions, or 5 questions, and then you're going to post a picture and explain that picture. You can certainly put your answers as a list. Just make sure that you are thoroughly answering those. And I don't mean you have to write a book to answer each, but make sure that people won't leave having questions about anything that you've shared. So you'll click Start a New Thread, and I've posted my introduction here just as an example. Mine is a little lengthy. I'm an English professor. What do you want from me, right? You don't have to write nearly as much as this, but I've included, an image. I've included information about myself. And please, you don't have to reply to me. If you want to, that's fine, but it is not a requirement at all. But if you're replying to one another, you just click Reply to Thread, right? All right, so mine is just an example. So scrolling back down to what we're doing this week, you also have a quiz and the mind map. I'm going to click on the mind map so we can go over that. We will get into more detailed mind maps as the semester progresses, usually over a chapter that we've read or a video that we've watched. It's just kind of a visual way to organize our ideas. You'll also have more detailed instructions later on. This is just very basic, right? And so what I want you to focus on is, instead of looking at a chapter or a reading as a source for the mind map, you're looking at our syllabus. So our syllabus becomes kind of a text or a document. I want you to pull out the 4 most important ideas in our syllabus. Why are they important to you, right? So I don't want you to be general, like, oh, in every syllabus I look for attendance. Well, okay, how about in every syllabus I look for attendance, and in this class it shows such. You know, explain why that's important to you, okay? Why are these areas important to you as a student? Offer that explanation. This is a very basic template that you can use. Let's see if my computer will actually open it right now. It's being kind of testy. You can also use Canva or mind map, whatever you would like, or for this week at least, you can handwrite it and upload it as a JPEG. Just take a picture of it. Please do your best with the handwriting so I can read it, but in the future it'll need to be typed, right? So all the work that's submitted to our course needs to be typed. So when you're done, you just go and click upload, you locate the document on your computer or tablet, and make sure you click submit. D2L will send you a confirmation email when you submit a document or when you submit an assignment. Okay. In addition to that, for Sunday, you also have the quiz. So you just click on week 1 and you'll click start quiz. You don't have a limit to how many times you can take it. It should be pretty straightforward this week. It's from our syllabus, it's from the videos that you've watched, it's from information in D2L. So don't complete or start that until you've gone through everything, unless you want to complete it several times, whichever you'd like. All right. So going back to week 1. The final thing I try to offer, at least at the start of the semester, is a checklist, just so that because you have all these things that seem like they would be visually really helpful, like, oh, it'd be great if I submitted that, if there were a check mark. Well, here is a checklist for you, but let me caveat this. It does not mean that you've submitted. So if you click on, this, it doesn't automatically, it just means that you have consciously gone in and selected that. So see how it's showing that those are 14% complete? You have to actually do it, right? This is not going to automatically check itself when you submit something or that kind of thing. This is just to give you a sense of, if you had a notepad in front of you, you're checking these things off the list, okay? Let me know if you have any questions about that, but don't let it fool you. All right, so again, welcome to the course. Please let me know if there's anything that you need from me. Remember that Q&A discussion board area is there for all of us. No question is stupid, nothing like that. Ask any question because again, I've posted it, I've created all of this, so it's very clear to me, but the way that you are viewing it and understand it, especially if you've taken other courses online, may be very different. So ask the questions. And if you want to get in and answer your colleagues, absolutely do that. All right, y'all, good luck this week and take care.